Hi everybody, welcome back. Samantha, Kansas City Stitch here for Flosstube 38. I just looked and I still almost forgot what I was going to say. I've had quite a few new people, so welcome. Thank you for subscribing. I filmed my whip parade like almost 2 weeks ago now. It's been 3.5 weeks since I filmed a regular Flosstube. And I may have lost my mind. I don't think that this is going to be anywhere short. I'm just going to start with my finishes. And if you can hear my husband talking, I'm sorry, he's on the phone, but he's in the other room, so. One of these I think that you've seen in my finish parade. The other ones you have not seen. So I know that we saw my 1988 Prairie Schooler Santa. He is done. I don't know what happened up here, but it's fine. That doesn't even matter. So I'm so happy with this. I kind of want to start another one, like right now, but I'm not. I'm gonna wait. I really want to start the Fisher one. Next, I finished Gobble Tell You Wobble. I don't remember if I had this finished in my finished parade or not. Frosted Pumpkin, Gobble Tell You Wobble. I've done none of these in the called for colors. I know that this gray color is a Moselle silk. And I know that this brown in the turkey and up here is a Night Stalker Calling. The rest of them I don't remember. I put them all back in my stash. But that's the whole thing. I'm going to turn it into a pillow. Because I want it out all year long. I worked really hard on this year. Rebecca, Slightly Bananas, and I have been going crazy over these this year. And we're going to continue on next year. So we've got, I think that there's like 6 or 7 more that we want to do. And I think that we have our one for January already planned. So there's that. I think after I finish the last one on this one, because I finished Dino Days. This is my absolute favorite one to work on. Not my favorite one done, but my favorite one to work on. It was so much fun. I actually think the Mermaid Kisses is my favorite. The one we work on in January, I think, will be the I Love You a Latte. And I will be putting it next to my Pumpkin Spice, because Pumpkin Spice, I Love You a Latte, I mean, they've got to go together, right? After that, I think I will be doing these individually. I also kind of want to make this into a pillow. I don't exactly know if I'm going to do that yet or not. But that's where it is. Oh my gosh, look at this dino. Look at this. He is so cute. And then my little T-Rex, yes. I need to put all the floss back for that one. Let's go with new starts. I have, oh nope, there's one last finish. Just kidding. I forgot that I had this done. This is one of the Prairie Schooler birds, the Cardinals. I was originally going to finish this for my mother-in-law for Christmas, but I decided I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to stitch this twice. And I used my Dinky dies, so I didn't want to share my really pretty dinky dies. And I kept all my dinky dies in the bag with this because I'm going to start the next one, I think. My favorite one is this hummingbird, but I don't think I'm going to start it next. Because I don't want to start my favorite one because then I won't want to work on any of the others. So I think I'm going to go down here and like maybe do this one because this one is really pretty. It's the purple Matrion. I'll have to pull some other dinky dies, obviously, because I don't have blues pulled out for that, but my cardinals. And I'm just going to put as many on this piece of fabric as I can, so I'm just going to go right on over. I think, if I calculated correctly, I think that at least 8 should fit on here. And I'm going to separate them enough to where I can maybe finish these separately. I'm not sure how yet. I kind of want to do... I don't want a bird wall because I have a lot of walls that I have in my mind. And right now, I have a chaos wall of just randomness going on over here. Like my Goonies, my hug your brain today. My water lily dragon is up there. This Goonies one, just so everybody knows, was actually finished after my brother and I got into it, and I cut him off. I no longer speak to him because he called me and said some terrible things to me. So I finished this after that, and I was like, I originally stitched this and started it because I was giving it to him. He loves the Goonies, and I said, screw that, I'm keeping it. I worked really hard on it, and it's mine. And I was almost done with it by the time that happened, so yeah. So this is my like chaos wall, my wall of I don't even know what's happening. And then I have a couple of other things, like my You Got This is over here. My mermaid with coffee is up here on my bookshelf. My bedroom has I call it my love wall. It's things I've stitched for my husband and I, and I have an empty wall like over here. I have a couple dog kennels over here, but above them, because my dogs go in a kennel when we aren't home. I own huskies, so they will eat everything in the house if they aren't put up when we're not home. So above them is going to be my horror movie wall when I finish anything. Anyway, off on a tangent. My starts. I started on my Cinderella, my Donna Stitch Cinderella that I'm going to stitch on some of in January for Allison at Cross Stitch the Globe's birthday, princess birthday Sal. I don't know. I'll remember what it was. But I started this because I'm trying not to start very many things next year. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I started this on I Lilac You a Lot by Fiberlicious, 32 count. And while this is a full coverage-ish stitch, it is no background. So I thought Cinderella would look great on purple. This is not showing up quite right, but close enough. And I'm going to leave this on the hoop because I'm going to work on it, well, probably next week. Oh, I forgot to finish. I finished my little advent. Rebecca and I traded advent calendars. I hope you cannot hear my husband. And this was like a little stitch that I stitched a little bit every day. day 24 was all of the back stitching, and she sent me the back for this, so it's a finish. And while I don't really do anything for Christmas, I do think I'm gonna have this up all year long. Probably on my chaos wall. Why not? My wall of whatever I feel like putting up there, I guess. I don't know. If I remember, I'll try to insert a picture of that Donna stitch. I hope I do. Next, I started Jet X stitch. Jessica, if she was a man and not a woman, and if I wasn't married, I would totally marry this girl. She makes the best patterns. I knew the moment that she showed this on her Flosstube that I was going to buy Persephone's Garden, and I was going to stitch Persephone's Garden, and I was going to stitch it on 36 count Secret Garden by Fiberlicious. I'm using all of the called for floss, and hang on just a moment. I'm using all the called for DMC. I do think that she actually calls for 2 Pirate Robin flosses that I do not own. There's Persephone's Garden. I don't know if it's me or what is happening, but oh, that's better. I can actually see what's happening. Oh yeah, I'm in love with it. And I'm at almost 14% already. So I've stitched 1,024 stitches out of 7,593. And I'm just going to say that I did not want to put this down. I was like, I'm going to finish this in December, but then I'll tell you what happened. So that's where it's at. I do realize that I started this in the middle of my fabric, and I'm going to have a lot left over. I'm not even going to be mad about it. I'm going to put some quirky Quakers on this, I think, after I, finish Persephone's Garden. Oh, a piece of fuzz. This will get a frame, and it will go on my chaos wall, most likely. Actually, this might go on my love wall because Persephone's Garden, Persephone and Hades all day. All day. Okay, next, Annie. XO, Needle in the Hay XO. I knew that as soon as this came out, I wanted it. And then, oh, my cover photo got all crinkled. This is a purchase, too, that came in. It's Kathy Barrick's Quaker Christmas stocking and sampler. She started us out for this. It started the 26th, the day after Christmas. I knew as soon as I saw it that I was going to pull some dinky dies and I was going to stitch it on this 40 count coconut shell that I have. So this is the sampler. I do know that I have enough because I calculated. This is in my Dinky Ties conversion that I do share on my Instagram. I feel like I'm doing a lot of chaos today. Oh, there you can see the white. So this is 40 count coconut shell with dinky dies. I don't know what's happening over here. And I just dropped some. There's 2 that I haven't used yet. So the rest, nope, there's 3. This one hasn't been. These have all been. These ones that are like all crazy have, and I have my own hair. So there's but then Annie posted our assignments, and I was already considering stitching both. So when I saw her post where we were starting on the stocking and the Quaker, I was like, yep, I do in fact have to stitch them both. So there's where I'm at on the stocking, and you really can't see. It's not white, actually. It's a very, very, very light pink. I have the word peace done, and I have 2 snowflakes. The assignment was this bird, these 2 trees, the word peace, and this. I don't think that either of these snowflakes were there. I don't know. I stitched more than what the assignment was because I was really feeling this. But I knew that I could not stitch the stocking and the sampler in the same colorway. So I'm making the stocking pink and silver, and I'm keeping the trees green, obviously. So here's my floss for the stocking. I'm stitching it also on the 40 count coconut shell because when I cut it in half, it was big enough for the stocking and the sampler. So I was like, perfect, I'm gonna do it. So, and at this point, this is where I lost my mind. So, I did a little calculation after I started both of these and realized that my 30 for 30 turned from 30 into 85 new starts this year. I have started 85 things. Now, I have finished 37 things this year. So, I needed to start 15 more things to make it 100, because if I'm already at 85, I might as well be at 100. So, I started. I got this pattern on Etsy. It's Dudella X Stitch. I'll post a picture. It's called Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. I don't ever talk about Taylor Swift, but I am a 1989 girl. That's my favorite album. Reputation was holding second place in my heart until this year. And by that, I mean I had to start Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. And this vintage hoop left a mark on my fabric because I started this today. I got Old Me ? Done, and I started on the F for of. This is a 14 count Aida. This is only about 2,700-ish stitches, so it shouldn't take that long. And then Rebecca's little quirky Quaker needle minder. Yeah. So I had to. So this was start 86. Are you counting? That means I have 14 more to go. And my last start. I don't know that we count this as a start, really. Because I started it right before I made this video. And then I looked over at my bin and said, I really need to make a video. I started Lizzie Kate's Dog Lessons for People. And by start, I mean I did 24 stitches. So this is start 87. I'm stitching this on a 14 count Aida that I got when I was in Jody at the Steel City Stitchers was doing a Fabric of the Month club. I don't think she's doing that anymore. I pulled Floss from Stash, so this is not the Called Force, which is All Weeks Dye Works. And it's on a 32 count linen, and obviously I'm doing it on gray. So I love this. I had the cat one. I got both of these at the thrift store a few months ago, and I've been wanting to start this. Didn't have it kitted up. Tonight I was like, I need to find some smallish things to start that I could finish, not in 10 years. And by smallish, I mean this is 162 by 110, so really that's not that small. I don't know, that might take me a few years. However, I am kind of hoping that maybe I'm not going to start as much next year. I'm not going to say I'm not starting anything, because that would be a lie. I'm going to go into whips. I'm having a love-hate relationship with this pattern right now. And by love-hate, I mean I'm kind of getting tired of working on it. This is Crossword by Long Dog. I'm stitching this on an 18 count atypical. I'm trying to finish this in 2025. And at the rate I'm going right now, I'm thinking I might put it down and finish it in 2026. I don't know. I have 2 letters left for my goal for December, which it's the 29th. My husband's birthday is tomorrow. I don't know what he wants to do, but I took off tomorrow to do what he wanted. And I am kind of hoping that he wants to stay home and play some video games for at least a little bit. Because I want to finish this word. I want to finish the word truth. And then we'll see in January if I decide to go on with my plans for my sections a month, or if I'm going to put this down and start all over again in 2026. When I started this, when I pulled this back out last year, because I had 4 words left to do, so in September of last year I started doing 1 word a month. I had only gotten, whenever I pulled it back out, I had gotten this section done and this part of Forever. So, I mean, I've gotten a lot done. I'm impressed with myself. But at the same time, I'm kind of tired of looking at it. I'm stitching that with Color and Cotton. Blue Bonnet is the blue for my words. And the variegated is Hand Dyed by Rolanda. And I do still love the project. I'm just tired of looking at the project. I'm going to set that somewhere else so I remember to work on it. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with doing the temperature stitching. I think leaning towards I am, but this is Bluebird Sampler by Shannon Christine Designs. I think I worked on this twice, so an hour. This is on 20 count Water Nymph by Be Stitch Me. And I just pulled some random overdyes that I had in stash. Oh, maybe there. I didn't pull out my temperature on Friday. I think I'm going to work on these for 30 minutes still until on the days that I can. I have so many plans for next year that I don't know that 30 minutes more on something other than what I'm planning I can do. I don't know. I'm gonna see how it works out in January and if I can continue on with temperature stitching. I have projects numbered as 0 through 9 for anybody that doesn't know, and I'm doing the projected. I write down on Sundays what the projected is for the week, and then I work 30 minutes on that each day, whatever the high is for the last digit. I just realized. I'll grab that in a minute. And what I have so far is things that I want to finish this year as the temperatures. So I think I might keep it as that. I don't know. So up next, I think I worked on this. I think I only worked on this once. Just one more chapter. This one for sure, I could finish doing these temperatures. Is this Vintage Rose? I don't know what the name of this fabric is. I'm using all the called for DMC though. I finished up all this top section. So I only have the bottom section left to go, which is most of the stitching. I finished up this top book. So next time I pull this out for a temperature, I'm just going to continue working my way down the books and then go over. Now that I said all of that, I'm kind of leaning towards just continuing on, but I'm thinking about leaning towards it because whenever these numbers get called on WipGo, because all of these projects are on my WipGo board, I could not work on them that month and just mark them off whenever they get done at some point in the year. Next, I worked on Pink Sparrow Sampler. Brenda Gervais. I am in love with this. I am using DMC, but I'm not using all of the called for DMC. It's not actually called DMC that it's stitched anyway. It's fancy floss, but I just pulled DMC. I'm stitching this on 32 count Cold Foam by V Stitch Me. I did these flowers. I think I worked on this twice. I did this whole border, I think, in this section of border. I put in this. Did this. Well, this was already done. But yeah, I think I got all of this. Actually, I think I had a really good stitching day. I think I had a really good stitching for that 30 minutes because I think this was only once. Speaking of, I have not looked at my projected temperatures yet for this week, and it is Sunday. But I don't even know if I'll have time to work on temperatures tomorrow, so I guess I shouldn't be too worried about it. This one, I'll have to insert a picture. This is Let Toxic Bridges Burn, which I also got for my family. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm doing this on a 14 count Black Ada. I am doing none of the called for. I grabbed Fancies and Cosmo and a couple of DMC just that I had in stash that were kind of similar. And so far, it's working out. I worked some of this T and I did a lot of this O. And I still have that green on my needle, so I'll just work the rest of the O next time this is called. I'll just pick that bag up. No, I'm just gonna do it right now because otherwise I'll forget where this project goes. I'll be like, where did the floss go? Next is Uncanny Kari's Memento Mori. I just have a black and white printout. I think I may have worked on this a couple of days too. I've worked a lot of this red. This is also on 14 count Black Ada. But I cannot wait to have this done and on my wall because this is fantastic. This is fantastic. I don't even know what he's in there talking about. He's talking to some friend. It's like 10:30 at night or something crazy. No, it's only 10 o'clock. This is what I was supposed to work on Friday, and I did not pull it out. This is Away We Ride. I'm stitching this on 32 count Fiberlicious Skyfall. And I think I worked on the border, the top border. I don't remember if I had this bird in on my last video, but I think I did these 3 on the border. I'm trying to work my way to the other side of the top border. I want to do this border first. I want to see how much of this fabric I have left so I can cut it, because I still have the whole thing, and I think this will only take half, which is what I'm hoping for, because I really want this fabric for something else. I don't know what else, but I want it for something else. I want to start having not a bunch of excess fabric in bags with projects. Next is my Quaker Gardens from Hello from Liz Matthews. I'm stitching this on 20 count Be Stitch Me Cinnamon. I know that I think I only worked on this one day. I worked on the alphabet and I finished this butterfly. And I actually worked on this for, I don't know, I think like 35 minutes because I really wanted to finish the butterfly. I think I had L and M and N done. So I did PQ, OPQ, and then the butterfly. So next time I pull this out, I'll probably go over and work the board, this top border in. And maybe, I don't know. These don't take that long. There's only 4, 8, 9, 10. There's only 12 stitches in each part of these. I don't know. That might take the 30 minutes. I don't know. We'll have to see. This is also a hand-dyed by Berlanda floss. I hope I do not knock all of this over. Next is another Hello from Liz Matthews. This is Gather Here. I'm doing this on a 32 count Be Stitch Me Cardinal. I think that this is a 32 count. Nope, it's a 28 count. Can I figure out which way this goes? That would be great. There we go. I did that leaf. I think that might have been one day, actually. And I'm off in this leaf somewhere, but I said, I'm gonna fudge it. It was like somewhere like over here. And the rest of the leaf was correct. So I was like, if that's the only thing that's off, which I'm sure it won't be the only thing that's off, I'll live with it. This is done with Classic Color Works Ruby Slippers. is the floss. Yeah, ruby slippers. I wanted to do a red on red. Like Cam the Stitcher's pink on pink, but red on red. Red is my favorite color, so that's part of that. Next is Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird. I just realized that I have 2 Blackbirds and 2 Hello from Liz Matthews on my temperature. This is 32 count Cranberry Crush. And I worked the top border. That is the whole width of it. So this is not that big. And I definitely think I could get it done with some temperature stitching. And one of my temperature pieces actually was pulled for January. And I'm not sure if I want to try to finish it in January or if I want to continue on with my temperature stitching on it. But I pulled it out and did some regular stitching on it. I stitched on it for like one day. It's my Elemental Dragon's Earth. I'm using Night Stalker Calling scales. I'm stitching this on 32 count. I don't know the fabric name. And it's a Fortnite fabric, so you can't get it. You can no longer get it anyway, but because unfortunately they no longer dye fabric. But I had one dragon done, or I had 2 dragons done and part of a third. So I finished the third and I finished the next one. And I started it on the next border. So. And after I took a picture of it, I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have done anything extra. That would have been so cute as a little tiny ornament. Just like that. So, wouldn't that have been so cute? My gosh, my nails are dirty. Oh well. I was busy today. Alright. Let's talk some Christmas stitching. Somebody made a comment on my whip parade, and I'm going to say thank you. I don't remember your name. I do remember reading it, and I do remember responding about this project and what I should do to try to get the stain out, or what I should do and tea dye the whole thing. This is my Holiday Quaker by Lila Studio. I am working on this. I was going to try to finish this little motif. I did not quite get there. This is on an 18 count Enchanted by Mystic Fabrics. And I want to say thank you because I set a boundary in that video and you said you really appreciated that. And I'm just going to say that I also set a lot of boundaries in my own life. So I was not going to take those boundaries away in a video. I was going to keep those around. However, now that you said how I could try and remedy this, I kind of like it like this. I think it'll look weird and funky on my wall just like this. And I'll also say that nobody comes to my house besides my husband and I, so he's never gonna say anything about it anyway. So if I decide that I'm never gonna do anything about it, then so be it. And he's not once said anything about this stain, watching me work on it. So that's where I'm at. I had all of this done, and this angel, I did all of this. And I did all of that in one night, and then we were watching a movie, I don't remember what, And I kind of got distracted with the movie and I stopped working on this. I think I could have finished it that night if I had just continued on. I will say though that it is kind of hard to pierce the fabric through where the stain is, so there is that. However, I'm almost out of where the stain is. We'll see. Maybe one of these days I'll do something about it. I don't know. Next, I pulled out my Santa's house, which I was kind of hoping I was going to finish the house by Christmas Day. What I didn't expect was how much little tiny changes there are in this house. And you'll see what I mean. I'm stitching this on a 28 count. It's a Picture This Plus. Is it Pacific? I can never remember the name of this fabric. I'm hoping to fit a few houses on this. So this is where I'm at. I got it in a very good position for next year I actually finished Yellowstone this year, so that was originally on my Whipco board. I replaced it with this. So I am kind of hoping to finish it this year. I only had this gray rooftop, all of this whole border, the rooftop, the snowflakes around, and one of this side gray done and a little bit of the other. I did all the rest of it. And then I got a little bit bored. However, this top part, besides the window, because I definitely still have to fill in the window, and I have to fill in the windows down here, which is all one color. All of this is ready to just be filled in. The rest of that is all just one color. And who knows, maybe this will get called in December. That would be great. Or in July, for Christmas in July, and I can watch movies and just fill in the house. Because once the house is done, the rest of this won't take that long. Once that house is done. I mean, there's like this big giant motif off to the side, but yeah. I don't know. I just looked at that and went, oh my god, there's a stain. No, it's my floss. Because there's still red floss on the needle and I can see it through the fabric. I was gonna be so mad. Oh yeah, I'm already at like 45 minutes almost. Rebecca and I are gonna do quarterly, seasonal, A Year in the Woods. She has already stitched the bear. I have already stitched the swans, and she is going to work on the swans for winter, and I'm going to work on this bear. So I pulled it out, and I got a little bit more work done on it. I think I did, like, all of this, and, like, yeah, I think I did. And some of this, I'm pretty sure I did, like, all of this. I think I did this part, too. I did that on the 21st of December, whenever it was the first day of winter, so I will definitely be pulling this out in January some more, because I do not want to save this all for March. That would be a lot. I dropped some of the floss. Next is my book that Rebecca and I were trying to do bi-monthly. We're going to make this every 3 months, I think. Bi-monthly is too much for both of us, or maybe we'll go back to bi-monthly after we finish this one in January. I don't know. Something about this December totally got to both of us. I don't even know if she pulled hers out again after we started it, but this is Book of the Frost Dragon. I think I did a couple hundred more stitches in on it. I know I did all of this, and I did this, and I worked some of this book. I worked a lot of the black. And this fits like perfectly in this hoop, so that's cool. That's all of my whips. So we can go back to, I still have 13 projects left to start. Today's the 29th, and it's 10 o'clock at night. So really I have 2 days left. Tomorrow, I'm hoping. I've had this started once. I UFO'd it. I'm going to restart it. I bought this as the kit. This is the Frosted Pumpkins Little Red Riding Hood Parade. I just have a black and white photo of it. I still have all the floss, and I'm going to change the fabric to this fabric that I had in stash. I don't even know what this is. I'm hoping to start this tomorrow, and I should be able to. That leaves 12. That's going to go over there. That leaves 12. So, 12 things. I need my pattern keeper. And some of these I'm going to show, I'm going to do my 12, I'm going to do 12 by 12. Well, I might have to insert a picture because I don't see it on my pattern keeper. I see the other two patterns by them, but not the one I'm going to start, of course. Up first is a thrift store find. Cold Hands. I think I just bought this. Cold Hands, Warm Heart. I'm going to stitch this on a 28 count. I don't know the name of this fabric. I started my Holiday Quaker on this originally. I'm going to start this like up in the corner where maybe I won't have to frog yet, because I don't want to yet. So it should fit on this without me having to frog or rip out. Yeah. And I just pulled floss from stash. Dinky Dyes, a white, mostly Dinky Dyes. I have a lot of Dinky Dyes, so I'm gonna use them. That's a hot mess. I just gotta throw them in the bag, so. Holy moly. Okay. And I'm gonna stitch it on. There's one of my 12 by 12s. second 12 by 12, I'm going to start Trick or Treat by Tiny Modernist. Again, I did grab 310. I don't have a white in here, but I'm not going to need it yet, so it's fine. And I grabbed 2 dinky dies, a purple and a green. And I'm going to stitch it on an 18 count Something Blue by Mystic Fabric. There's start 2. And this is probably not in the order I'm actually going to start them. Start 3, you'll see a little bit of a theme, is my Blueberry Ridge Sampler Holidays Halloween. I'm going to stitch this with Moselle Silk that I have in here. And I'm going to stitch it on 46 count. Why? Because I want this to be small. Ish. This is 147 by 172. And I would like this to not take 20 years to finish, so. This says 3 skeins of onyx, but it was also stitched on 36 count, and I'm going to do it on 46 count. I have 3 skeins of Moselle, which are bigger skeins than weeks. So I may only need 1 or 2. Next is Modern Folk Embroidery. Oh my goodness, my mouth is so dry. The Lord of the Rings one. I've had this one kitted up for a little bit. I'm going to stitch this with a Moselle Silk. Beautiful. On a 20 count Devil's Claw Be-Stitch Me. Oh, yes. And I know that people stitch for an hour, 1 hour for 12 hours. One project an hour for 12 hours. I don't know that I'm going to get quite an hour on any of these, but I'm going to try. Next is, this is also a new purchase. Cocoa Quilt. Oh, I love this. I will be buying the Halloween quilt to go with this. Not right now, but. And I pulled a Steamed Broccoli is my favorite Classic Colorworks green. And Cardinal Dinky Dies. I'm going to stitch it on this green, bluish, greenish bluish color. And then I think I just have, oh no, I have a Classic Colorworks Toasted Marshmallow in here. That's 4. 5. And then this is number 6. Cocoa Quaker. I will also be buying the Halloween Quaker. I don't have it yet, but I will. I will be stitching this on a 32 count. I don't know the name of this fabric. It was one of the Fibrelicious Fabric of the Months that I got a few years ago. And I'll also be using the Toasted Marshmallow. And I grabbed a Cosmo and a Be-Stitch Me. Fern Be-Stitch Me. For the floss. That was 6. 7. This was also another purchase that I'm hoping to work on more in February. This is the Valentine's Day Quaker. I'm going to stitch this with Shrimp Cocktail, Classic Color Works, on a 32 count Be-Stitch Me. No, Forbidden Fiber. Yeah, Forbidden Fiber Co. That I don't know the name of because I've lost it. This says I need 3 skeins. I have 1 skein of Shrimp Cocktail, and I'm thinking I might stitch this one over 1. Maybe. Maybe I'm crazy. I really want it to be super tiny. I want it to be like a little tiny pillow like this big. I say that and then I'll probably frame it. 7. I'm going to start all 3 of these. So here's 10. 8, 9, 10. Doesn't matter where. Because I love every one of these. I have this Fangirl Fibers fabric for, it's called the Amazing Doggy Swami. I think it was part of their Gilmore Girls. I think I'm going to do the All Hallows Eve on this fabric. The other 2, I have 20 count Hot Cocoa by Be-Stitch Me. I grabbed some Dinky dyes, and I grabbed 2 anchor flosses, and I threw it all in the bag. I haven't exactly decided yet what I'm going to do, but I was thinking October 31st with this color. This Dinky dyes, Monkey Mia. I love that. But I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm doing yet with those. This was a Christmas gift from my best friend. And start number 11. Is this a fox down the rabbit hole? Jen, was this your pattern? Anyway, this is the 4th wing pattern. It couldn't, be more appropriate in my 4th wing bag. I'm going to stitch this with Flower Silk, Poinsettia, and I'm going to stitch it on a fabric that I dyed. That I started something and I don't know what happened, but I don't even know what that was supposed to be. And then last but not least, I'll have to insert a photo because I do not have the photo. I don't have this pattern on my pattern keeper on my tablet, but I do on my phone, so I don't know. I have all of the DMC for it. I've had all of the DMC for it, and I bought this 14 count Black Ada at probably Joann's or something. I don't know. Michael's, Joann's. I bought it just for this pattern, so. There's all 12. That'll make 100. And if I wasn't going to be bored enough, starting 5 million things on the last 2 days of the month, I have a New Year, New Start. That I'm going to start with Rebecca. Rebecca and I are starting spring at Hawk Run Hollow. I love all of the Hawk Run Hollows, but spring is my favorite season. And my birthday is conveniently the 2nd day of spring, so I think what I've decided is I'm going to start down here at the bottom in this square and work my way up. I don't know where Rebecca is starting, but this is where I'm going to start, I think. I don't normally work from the bottom, but I'm going to go a little out of my comfort. Because you know what I don't really want to start out with? This bird's nest. That doesn't sound that great to me. I'm going to stitch it on this 18 count Be Stitch Me lightly salted, not roasted. And I have most of the DMCs already. I do need to go to the store tomorrow. And buy the last thing I called for that I was missing inconveniently. Other things I have planned in January. This is my other Whip Go call that is I'm calling it Finish It Whip Go. My Shipjack sampler by Art of Designs. I'm stitching this on 20 count Be Stitch Me Gorgeous Grape. I know if you watched my whip parade you just saw this, but that's where I'm starting. And honestly, this is not that big of a pattern. $154 by 91. I already have half the sail done, so I have the other half to do. Plus the border and the letters and, you know. I don't know. I don't think it'll be a big problem. Alright, can't find it, so hold on. If you can hear the train. Sorry. Every week in 2025, Rebecca and I are doing 500 stitches on a project. Originally we said full coverage, but I don't think it is anymore. I'm doing it on full coverage. Mine is going to be Mini Pixie Dreams, artwork by Julie Finn, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't know why that just happened. There's my starting point. I'm going to work the 310 first, I think. And I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to try to do my 500 stitches tomorrow. I don't know if that'll happen, but it's what I'm going to try for. Stitchy Kindness. Rebecca's hand-dyed floss from my Advent. My last 4, I think, that I got. She named them all. This is Mistletoe. Yes. Don't know what I'll do with that, but 'twas the night before Christmas. Rocking around the Christmas tree. I should have used this for my Christmas trees in Quaker Christmas. And icicle lights. I love this. And day 24 was a bag. I'll have to start, that's the prairie dogs. I'll have to start some summer thing to put in this. Don't know what yet, but I'll figure it out. For Christmas, my mother-in-law asked me what I wanted, and I sent it to her. A direct link from Amazon. I asked for Nerd Hoops. It was a 5-pack. You already saw one of them because it was on the dragons. And then I asked for the Whip Warriors cross-stitch diary. I thought maybe, just maybe, this would help me a little bit more. And it has a whip go board in it. So I wrote down all my projects already. Why I wanted this is because I like the breakdown of week 1 for the month, week 2, week 2, week 3. That's why I wanted it. Alright, Fabralicious, Fabric of the Month. I get 36 count. This is Molten Magic. I almost did my stocking on this because this is fantastic. This reminds me a little bit of a gingerbread house. I don't know why, but at the thrift store yesterday, we found by we, I mean me. Never used this before, but and $1.25 for silk lame. Yes, please. I'll find a home for that later. I bought 18 count Black Ada because I want to start my tarot, Witchy Stitcher tarot. Don't know when, but. And then I got this at the thrift store. It's a bunch of like little tiny patterns. Christmassy. The Blue Flower. Winter Phoenix. This was an Etsy shop purchase. I don't even remember the shop name, to be honest. And Kathy Barracks. I love this. I was about to say this would look really good on that Molten Magic, but I don't think it would because this would really blend in with that. I don't know. I'd have to pull the floss and find out. That's it. This is it. All right. I think that's enough. Bye.